So my name is Ross. I work in County Durham and Darlington NHS Trust based at Durham Hospital, and I'm a clinical teaching fellow. I get to teach a broad range of medical students. I always had an inkling throughout medical school that I'd like to go into GP. I wasn't really 100% sure once I finished my foundation training, so I took the clinical teaching fellowship as a bit of time out to reassess and think about what I definitely wanted to do. This is the clinical skills room where you might have seen me teach this year if you were here. It is really important to have these spaces because what we can do here is we can simulate a really unwell patient that the students otherwise wouldn't be able to see on the wards. So they can get the preparation before they have to go in and do that. During the 2 years of teaching that I have been doing, the Trust here has paid for the majority of the costs of a diploma in medical education. I got the job in Malaysia as a teaching fellow at Newcastle's campus out there, and it gave you the 2-year placement. So 1 year in Malaysia and then 1 year in your choice of trust once you get back to the northeast. And they've got the different balances of clinical commitments and teaching commitments. And I wanted to do more teaching, and Durham gave you that balance towards the teaching. Anybody who's gone and worked abroad in any sort of capacity will know that it sort of changes your viewpoint on things quite a lot. It's really useful just to have that sort of global setting in the back of your mind, sort of where we sit in the rest of the world. Yeah, so this is the office, this is where I work. It's just covered in trees, which you wouldn't get in the inner city, I would suspect, but it's a really nice place to work. You get a fantastic work-life balance as a clinical teaching fellow. So this is Durham Climbing Centre. This is where I come to switch off, because if you don't focus on what you're doing, you're going to fall off a wall, which is always very useful when you try not to think too much about medicine. So you've got plenty of opportunities for this sort of thing around here. If you fancy outdoor climbing, there's Rothbury Crags up in Northumberland, which is really, really beautiful. Then you've got your hill walking in the Cheviots up in Northumberland, and you've got the Lake District within driving distance as well. Coming as a graduate from Newcastle University, there is a strong push to stay in the northeast. There's lots of different trusts, there's lots of different opportunities. You've got regional trauma centres in Newcastle and James Cook. You've got your district general hospitals like here at Durham, and you've got a varied training opportunities across all of those hospitals. The best thing about training here was the support from everybody at every level. What I want to do would be a mixture of rural GP and a bit of urban GP as well. And in the northeast, you've got a huge cross-section of patient life, really. I've found a bit of a passion in teaching whilst I was doing it. It's a bit cheesy, but I like to feel like I've made a difference. So a lot of people get into medicine for that sort of reason. You want to make a difference to someone. And I find I get that as much, if not more, from teaching, actually. Seeing my students progress from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and just having my final year students graduate this year, it was very, very rewarding.